and his girlfriend, unbeknownst to him, well, I think she's a gold digger.
I shot myself on Instagram and she dubbed me.
I didn't dub. I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type.
What?
He would text me every single day. Half the time I didn't respond to him. I would like kind of just text him when I was bored or when I felt like it.
He seen her phone one day. He went to her phone one day. He seen that text message. He's like, you don't know who this is? So he was like, you don't know who this is?
This, at the time, was the #1 player in the country.
This thing is littered with red flags. It's like a tractor trailer that was carrying red flags, got into a major accident on the highway.
It spun over.
Yeah.
There's red flags all over the highway.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man.
GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? The sexual revolution is being podcasted, and I am excited. Harry, what do we got for the people?
Oh, Dante, we always want to show you examples of guys just being clueless and messing up their lives, and they don't even know that they're in the middle of doing it. Here's another example of that. There's a football player who's about to blow up big, and he's going to be playing.
This is the one I want. So let me just say this.
Sure.
Harry does all the production, right? And but this one I'm aware of.
Yeah, this is the one Dante picked. He brought it right to the front.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, this is Travis Hunter. He is a football player who's about to make it big, and his girlfriend, unbeknownst to him, well, I think she's a gold digger. But let's
play it, and then
you be the judge of that. You be the judge, everybody.
You don't want to give away the twist.
There you go.
Friend zone, because I didn't like. He was like, "In my friend zone," I was like, "Yes."
I shot myself on Instagram and she dubbed me.
I didn't dub. I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type.
I wasn't her type.
I left him in my DMs for like 2 months. He was friend zone because I didn't like. He was like, "In my friend zone," I was like, "Yes." I was not into him.
This is some wild stuff, Dante. There's a lot of red. I mean, this thing is littered with red flags. Like it's like a tractor trailer that was carrying red flags, got into a major accident on the highway, the police have to shut it down, and
it spun over.
Yeah.
There's red flags all over the highway. Just people are picking up red flags, stealing, they're looting red flags.
There's guys on their phones
looting.
going, I'm telling you, I can't get to work, man. It's blocked. Look, I'm going to send you pictures. There's red flags over the road. The police said we can't go through.
It's flags everywhere. So let's go first of all. I get that when you approach somebody, that unless you're, have the sexual proclivities, or you look the way somebody wants to, women, every time a woman doesn't even know, sometimes she has to build an attraction. But if you are sticking around and what we used back in the days, we used to call it the Maytag. I don't know if you remember Maytag.
Maytag is a company that used to make dishwashers, refrigerators, ovens,
right, and
appliances.
The whole commercial was the Maytag repairman was just lonely because the Maytags were just always reliable. Always.
So he had no work to do.
He had no work to do, so he was crying because he was lonely. And that we used to call a guy who just sticks. He's always there. He's the Maytag. He's just always
available, always around,
always available, always reliable. Now,
I thought you were going to say the Maytag guy. The commercial was the Maytag guy is always there. He's always trying to bang the moms at home.
He's
like, that's a
always
weird commercial.
Yeah, it was that would be a little weird. But that's not it, Harry. I don't know what you've been watching Univision too much.
That's true. That's a different one.
Sounds like a Spanish soap opera. Yeah. Hello, I come to fix your Maytag in your butt.
Hay un problema con su refrigerador.
I want to fix your Maytag in your culo.
Yeah.
So, no, but that's not it. So one of the things that we have to understand is that, and I've said this 100 times, how does a woman know what your value is?
You tell
them.
Yeah.
You tell them. How you approach, the way you walk, the way you talk, the tone of your voice, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're willing not to tolerate. And at some point in time, you have to understand that it's a losing cause. Nobody goes from friend zone, right, to the front row. It never becomes your show. Unless, Harry, you want to fill this out? Unless
you become really valuable real quick.
Yes.
And she's a gold digger.
She's a gold digging hoe. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, how could that have happened to young, average looking Travis?
Average looking.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think she's a bad, like, she's alright. She's not smoking hot. She's alright.
No, she's all right. She ain't that hot. I was gonna say it. Yeah, she's not that hot. Not enough to be throwing your life away or tolerating any level of bullshit. But I don't know. I get the vibe of him. I mean, the whole thing. They're together, matching PJs.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm getting the vibe that
friend.
I was in a friend.
All right, now how do we meet, babe?
Look at it, just
What you mean,
smiling.
How do we meet for?
I shot myself on Instagram and she dubbed me.
And I didn't dub. I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type.
Leanne, you got the best man in football.
Attitude.
Oh, let's see this one. I didn't see this video popped up. Hold on.
Oh, girl, get that man some peace. Why is she upset?
Shador and Shiloh here at Folsom Field at home.
This. Yeah. When somebody asks you if you friend zone and you don't even have, the woman doesn't even have the decency to go to not hit you. She just hit him right in the face with a shovel. Absolutely, you was in the friend zone. And then all of a sudden somebody whispered in her ear, yo, this dude's getting ready to sign $1 million contracts. Trust me. I don't know.
Get on this early.
You better get up on this early. And the fact, understand something. It's okay that somebody is not into you initially. But if you're in a situation, there's never a situation where a woman will go, I don't like this guy, and then goes, I do like this guy. I changed my mind. Now, guys will do that. Guys will be like, man, my ex-girlfriend, she was dope. She always looked out for me. She was, you know what? Let me slide back in the DMs and see what's going on. But understand something. Women don't reassess. The only way women reassess your value is if, let's say you go to the Peace Corps and you come back with a 6-pack looking and a ponytail and you were digging wells and
you come back with a goatee.
You were in Nicaragua. You were you come back with a ponytail and a goatee. Let me tell you something. Here's the crazy thing. And I noticed, you know why? My older sister's first husband, she was this dude. He was chubby, hung out with her and her friend, was friend zoned his whole life, actually went to the Peace Corps. So you know that I didn't just make this scenario up.
Okay.
Peace Corps. You know, ain't no food. When you digging wells for underprivileged communities, right?
Yeah, there's not much food, and whatever food you're giving, you're giving it to the needy.
He came back, lost 100 and some pounds, and all of a sudden she was like, "Oh hi, oh hi." He was also a good looking dude. Like he was like light skin, gray eyes, sandy blonde hair.
But none of that mattered the first time around, right?
But he was also he was like 150 pounds heavier. So he stepped down, had a 6-pack, came back. But also, here's the thing: you still gonna get tested. Even though you look different, they're gonna test. They're gonna push, and you gotta push back. Oh, you with your old goofy ass, because she don't think different. It's not like she thinks you're different, but you're going to have to show her that she's different because she's going to push back and try to put you in the same friend zone that you were in the first place. And once you push back, then you get a reprieve. But if you're this goofball, clearly he's a goofball. And I don't know if you've seen him play football, but kid is amazing. If you love what we're doing here, go to patreon.com. It's the best way to support us, and check out all the bonus content.
That's right, patreon.com/manschool202. We do weekly bonus episodes. We do listener mail, dating tips, and also, if you love the show, you can go back to the archive starting from episode 1. All the episodes will be there at patreon.com/manschool202.
Right?
I mean, I'm sure he's great. You know, it's irrelevant though. It doesn't matter how good he is at football. It's that he's about to make it big, because she doesn't have any respect for him.
No.
Even with that, she has no. She's running. First of all, I don't know what they're doing on that thing, but you know, the matching pajamas. He looks like an idiot, like a goofball. He looks like a little kid, and he is a little kid mentally, because all he's been doing is playing football. He's not, you know, that's the thing we were talking about. 24 hours a day, they just got you playing sports. You can't go out. You can't do nothing. You can't get in, you know, there's cameras everywhere. You can't even go out and party. So what do? You sit at home, you play video games, you go online, right? But it doesn't matter how good he is. Just you can see, we were talking about all the red flags, Dante, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's go through the red flags of everything that happened. First of all, you know, the fact that she goes, he wasn't my type on camera. Like,
why would you say that?
Why would you say that? Why would you tell this story?
Yeah.
I left him sitting in my DMs for 2 months.
And then he said good morning and good night to me every night until, and whether I responded or not, because a lot of times I didn't respond. So she's telling this story, basically degrading him, right? And then on top of that, he's not really her type. She's saying he's not. What made him her type? Because he's a great human being. He's always was a great human being. That didn't change just because you're too. And I've said this 100 times. Just because a woman doesn't have the acuity to see how dope you are, doesn't diminish your value. And if you give somebody an opportunity, you try to take her out, she wasn't interested, move on. You can't. We gotta understand that. People don't do what they don't want to do. You can't make them do what you want them to do. You can't force them to stay in relationships. You can't force them to stay in the marriage. People are going to do what's comfortable for them. And if you're dating somebody, and this is men, women, or otherwise, if you're dating somebody who's not interested in your happiness, run. This guy's got a less than a 40 yard dash. He does less than a 40. He can run fast. There's no way she would catch him. But he just sat in her DMs.
He sat in her DMs, and then I don't know why he didn't get anyone else. He didn't have any other skills. Or maybe it's the intrigue. Human nature is the intrigue of trying to chase something that you can't have because it has more value. Bro, she's not all that. Her attitude seems real funky, even in just that demeanor. Like,
even when you see him trying to kiss her, no, get off me. You know.
All right, yeah, let's see that video just to let you know where this is going. But so the whole notion that we're talking about, right, is he wasn't my type, and then she finds out that he's about to be a millionaire. Right. And all of a sudden, he's her type. But he doesn't see that, and he's not aware of that, and he's not aware of the level of disrespect that she shows him. She's just not aware of any of it.
Yeah.
And here's what ends up happening. As it gets bigger,
girlfriend does not like him and is only with him because he is good at football are too obvious, since she said she did not find him attractive at first, but they started dating when he became a top recruit, while she didn't even stand up after he won the Heisman until his coach Deion Sanders made her. She got upset and said, am I supposed to just sit here all day?
See Deion, like, get up, bitch. Like, what are you doing?
He won the Heisman. I didn't even know he won the Heisman. I'm not into college football. Oh, wow.
He won the Heisman.
Look at that. She is sitting down and Deion's
back it up a little more.
Okay.
Now look at the joy in Deion as his surrogate father, you know?
Yeah. Look at how excited Deion up celebrating.
Didn't even stand up after he won the
Deion's wife. Travis's mom. Oh, that's Travis's mom.
That's Travis's mom.
I believe so.
He's hugging on Travis's mom. Well, that's a whole other thing. But if she needs to get primed, that's a whole other story. But,
everybody can get primed.
Everybody gets primed. Deion Sanders don't discriminate. That's the whole thing. If you're in that area, everybody's getting primed.
Listen, I ain't gonna have y'all talking about that bull junk.
Yeah.
Until his
Look at that. And Sanders like,
Coach,
hey, get up.
Deion Sanders made her. She got upset
go
and said,
to him.
am I supposed to just sit here all day when Hunter was taking pictures with his fans? And after his
Hold on, did you see that? Just
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's sitting there. I guess that's not a
Yeah,
whatever,
but it is. She's supposed to be. Look behind her. There's a whole ass poster of Travis on the background. She don't, son. She don't.
It's a problem. They're small, but they all add up.
And after his final home game, she got into an argument with him and refused to give him a kiss. The signs that Travis Hunter's girlfriend.
Oh boy, this is not good.
On phone one day, and I texted her on Instagram. And he seen that text. He's like, "You don't know who this is?" So he was like, "You don't know who this is?"
This at the time.
Oh wow, I didn't even know there was evidence of it. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. We were just talking about. I was just saying. All right, we're assuming. The assumption is okay.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I've been watching this. So.
Okay, you've been covering this. This is like your beat. This is your Israel and Gaza. You've been on it. You got three monitors going at once.
Yeah,
You got a notepad. You're answering phone calls. You got sources.
I'm online with the ADL. It's all. It's
all right. Hold on. I didn't realize there's proof of this. Hold on. Here we go.
You can get that guy was a friend of hers too.
Well, I think it's her brother. Is he saying?
It's crazy. It's kind of funny because now her brother is like my best friend. He seen her phone one day. He went to her phone one day, and I texted her on Instagram, and he seen that text. He's like, "You don't know who this is?" So he was like, "You don't know who this is?"
This at the time was the #1 player in the country. Anyways, she goes on. This is what really gets me. She's like, yeah, we're talking. One thing about him, he was just very persistent. Like, he would text me good morning and good night, like, every day. She was like, to be honest with y'all, I just ignored him. I said, what?
He would text me every single day. Like, morning and night, good morning and good night. Even if I didn't respond, because half the time I didn't respond to him. I would, like, kind of just text him when I was bored or when I felt like it.
It just keeps getting worse.
Stop that. When you see how she says, when I was bored.
When I was bored.
So this is another thing you got to understand. Like, when your social media gives this opportunity to maintain attention, it's like playing video games. You just get on, scroll, you can DM, you can answer DMs, check who, because there's this constant validation of how beautiful you are. And so you got to understand that, look, don't get me wrong. You don't want to be in a situation where you hey, how you doing? What's your name? And you crash out. You don't talk on the phone. You don't go out on a date. I mean, you still gotta fish. You still gotta sink the hook in. You still gotta get the fish on the boat. But if you're in a situation where you're sitting in somebody's DMs for 2 months, and just by her own admission, I mean, in my mind, what makes him think this has changed? Because he's such an awesome person?
Because he landed her, and so you the naivete of being like a geeky nice guy, and I know from experience, is that like once I land her, she'll see the real me. Once she opens up, she'll see the real me and understand. And that's enough. Just me being a good person will be enough. And that's what, because all girls say they're looking for a nice guy. They're looking for a great guy. Right. So if I'm a great guy, then that's it. That's all I have to do.
He said it.
Right. No.
She said it. She absolutely said it.
She said, when I was bored. When I was bored. So that's somebody else's feeling. Imagine if you told a woman in reverse, you go, yeah, I mean, I only hit her up when I was bored.
Oh, then she if she likes you, she'll chase you forever. She'll chase you forever.
When I was bored.
Because I'm not. This is so insane that she does these admissions and he has no idea. You know, he's also gone at people, like aggressively gone, yo, you don't mind your business, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But dog, you don't understand.
Tough with them, but he's not tough with her.
Yeah, exactly. But and she knows she's saying it. I wasn't really into you. So what my question would be, what changed? Okay, she got to know him. But the question is not whether or not he's a great guy. The question is, what kind of piece of garbage is she? When are we scrutinizing her personality or her constitution or the fact that her dishonesty or her selfishness or something? Right now, only reason why somebody knows her name is because of him. And when he goes to the draft, I mean, you know, there's always a possibility but he's already a millionaire, you know.
From just in the new college system?
From the what do they call it? ILDs or IDL?
Yeah.
What's in you know, like your likeness, LDA,
intellectual property rights, IPR.
No, it's like your likeness. Like they have to pay your likeness for video games and stuff. So some of these college guys are already they're already millionaires. So this guy's a multi-millionaire, right? 20 years old, and he's sitting in the DMs of some girl who nobody would know ever. Because
she looks like she's mixed race.
She's Mexican and black.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I've seen some really good Mexican and black women. She looks like she's mixed race, but from the ones that you don't want to mix.
She needs
like
somebody
together.
to go in and do shading.
Yeah. Some features. Mexican and black should turn out better. You got to send it back. You go, this mix isn't right.
This is not. You got
to You got to take 10% of the Mexican back, add 10% of the black, and then see if you could throw like a 5% Italian in there.
What is it?
Something.
Birria? We get some birria dipping sauce. Can we get
some birria?
Birria to dip it in.
Maybe some pico de gallo, something
Maybe
like
pico de gallo. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
So it's sad, and he is heading for.
It's disaster. It's going to be disaster because there's no way he's going to get a prenup. She's going to leave with half of the stuff. Unless Coach Prime can save her.
Dion will step in and.
Listen, Coach Prime can only coach who's on his roster, my friend. Once he goes to the big leagues, fortunately Coach Prime has to take care of the people on his team.
Plus, not only that, but you know his son is going to the draft. Yeah. Both his sons are going. Yeah. So I think both his sons, but I know Shador is going as quarterback. So. He absolutely is taking care of his sons first, Travis Hunter second. But I mean, how do you get into? I mean, at this point, he just smiling. I was in a DM.
She just disrespected me. Why would you tell that story? It's an embarrassing story. I guess they think of it as like a beautiful love story that he was persistent.
It's a beautifully disrespectful story.
I agree.
About how this young dude who is just looking for somebody to validate him in some way, and a girl who he probably doesn't even think that he's worthy of because she's attractive, and he's ready to give away the farm because he's doing fried chicken tacos.
Oh Jesus. Well, that sounds good, but I don't even think
it is. Good.
I have no doubt that her food game is trash.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On both sides of the plate, black or Mexican is trash because she got no effort.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.